Hi there, it Dave. We chat geek and we play games. Now game is Stone Age. It's a good game. I love game on board. Now we play game on screen, on stream. Yes? Okay, right, I'm not going to do that the whole stream. I think that would be really difficult. It may be worth a challenge. I may have to add it as a redeem to make me do Stone Age speak the whole time. Let me adjust my camera. Right, cool. So, as I brokenly said there, what we're doing today is we are playing the board game Stone Age, which I've played the board game version of many, many times. I rather enjoy it. Today is the first time that I'm playing the digital version of it, and hopefully it's good. So let's dive into this. As we've done for the last few board games we've played, this is probably going to be two streams. I'm going to do a stream today where I do the tutorial, the bit of game that show how to play, and then we'll see how far we get through that. And then next week in this same slot, we'll probably do we'll play a game without any hand holding. But let's have a look then. Here we go. Shall I do a voice? I'm not going to do a voice for him. Or shall I? I feel like I want to do a broken English thing. It doesn't work for him. Shall I just do a gruff voice? Hello, I'm Adam. It's fair to say that I'm the first man on the board. I will explain the rules and give you some valuable tips on how to play the game. We have travelled 8,000 years into the past, to the Stone Age. It was the longest prehistoric era for humankind. It lasted over 3.4 million years. Such a long time, but rest assured that the rules explanation is much shorter than that. We shall see. You will develop your village and face the challenges of a Neolithic landscape. Let's begin. Each game round is divided into 3 phases. Placing workers. In the first phase, players place their workers on the board. Collecting workers. In the second phase, players use the actions of their placed workers. Workers do their job and can collect new resources to grow your tribe. Feeding workers. The third phase is dinner time. Players have to feed their workers. Our work needs a good meal. You can always check what phase it is at the top part of the screen. You're probably wondering where my workers are. So do I. Bing, 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 bing. There they are. We start with 5 workers. Where should we send them? Lunch! I'm thinking tacos! Work first, food later. Let's go. Each location is 1 or more rings. 1 ring can be occupied by 1 worker. The largest ring is special. It has no limit, so you can send as many workers as your heart desires. One more thing, these 2 here are connected, which means you need to send 2 workers there. You're probably wondering what those places even are and why we work there. Good thing they're labelled. Hunting, forest, claymont, quarry, river, toolmaker, field, and the love shack. The 3 locations in the middle are the village, the field, the toolmaker, and the hut. Sending a worker there will give me an extra worker, a tool, or increase my food production, respectively. Really good thing I'm not trying to do the broken Stone Age voice for all of this. The village is surrounded by 5 other locations. Unlike the village, you need to roll dice to get resources from the 5 outside locations. The 5 labels of the location show the cost of 1 resource. For example, let's send 3 workers to the forest in the first phase. Each worker you send provides you with 1 dice in the second phase. That's when we roll. You roll a dice, add up the results, and divide the number on the dice by the location's label. The result is how many resources you get. For example, this roll you get 2, 3, 1 equals 6. 6 divided by 3, the cost of wood, is 2. You get 2 wood. Oh, matron. Maths, am I right? One more example. Your roll is 4, 5, 1 equals 10. 10 divided by 3 rounds down to 3. You receive 3 wood. We'll see that in action again later. I bet we will. Alright, but where do I keep all our goods? In the players panel, you doofus. Home sweet home. Anyway, let's play the game. We'll start as most things do at the beginning. Placing workers. In the first phase of the game, we'll send your workers to locations of your choice. I, for one, lived a nomadic life for millions of years, but now I want to settle down, build a house, gather crops, send my kids to Stone Age College. Stone Age is a worker placement game. In general, the more workers you have, the better, because you can do more things. Just remember you'll have to feed them. So let's get some more workers. Find and select the right location in the village. The correct answer is the hut. But why do we need 2 workers there, I wonder? First of all, that's because that's what the rulebook says. If you send 1 worker there, the second one will be added automatically. But also, it makes sense. Life, as they say, finds a way. But let's not get too distracted. I have 2 magical words you need to remember. The words are confirm button. It's right there. You'll need to confirm your actions. It has a friend, the undo button. It'll only appear if the action you took can be undone. Give it a go. Undo an action. Good job, but you still want those extra workers, so drag a worker back to them. Excellent. Now the 2 magic words. Confirm turn. Ah, the miracle of life. Now the icon from the location appears in your panel, where the workers used to be. This will clarify where your workers are without the need to scan the board. Knock knock. Who's there? May? May who? May I join? You could use at least 1 opponent, Adam. I'm Maya, mother of the gods, no big deal. Alright then. You forgot to mention that all players make their moves 1 by 1 in phase 1. You're right, the turn order is on the wooden square in the top left hand corner of each player's panel. And it'll change after phase 3, feeding workers, so I'll be the first player, yeah? That's right. After the next phase 3, it will cycle back to me and I'll be the first player again. Anyway, let's not get ahead of ourselves. It's my turn to play my phase 1. I'm glad that field is still available. I'll send a worker there and I'll explain why in a moment. Can you see those greyed out rings near the greyed out plate? But the toolmaker's got a free spot. Why can't I go there? The village has limitations in 2 to 3 player games. Only 2 village locations can be occupied in games with 2 or 3 players, you see. There are still a lot of other locations to choose from. You've got 3 more workers to send to work. Each worker eats 1 food during the feeding phase, so you have enough. 12 food, 5 people, no need to hunt. Is there anywhere you're guaranteed to get at least 1 resource? Sure, the forest needs 3 pits. You send all your remaining workers there. Oh yeah, 3 workers means 3 dice, so at least 1 wood. The last total number of pips of 3 dice will be 3, and it's a cost of 1 unit of wood. Simple math. Enough chat, let's go to the forest. Select the location. It helped I was clicking the right one. Okay, the first one is there. Are there other methods of sending workers to places? Sure there are. Press the plus next to the forest label. Second is already there as well. Third worker, third method of sending them. Give it a go. Drag your worker to the forest. And remember, once you place your workers in a location and confirm, you can't add any more to that location until the ones you've already come back. Exactly. So if we confirm those three, and we had more to choose from later this phase, we couldn't add them to the forest, even if there's room. Anyway, let's confirm our worker placement with the confirm button. Maya, where's my wood? Did you steal it? Hide it somewhere. I ate them. Just kidding. You have to wait till the second phase. That's when we take actions and collect goods. So be patient, young man. Young man. I still have 5 workers. I think I'll go to the forest too. You can't this turn. In Stone Age, only the number of players reduced by 1 can occupy each location in a 2 to 3 player game. Since there's only 2 of us, only I can be in the forest this turn. Fine, I'll try the river then, but I'm not sure I'll even get a single gold. Fortune favours the bold, or so the Roman guy will once claim. Notice you can see location icons also in the opponent's panel. You can't see it because I've hidden it with my stupid face. Now I need to scan the board to see who's doing what. Now you're both out of workers, it's time for the second phase. Collecting workers. The miracle of life! All actions from the village are done automatically, so you get your 2 workers back and the extra one that they made in the hut. And I get 1 level of food production from my field this turn. That means I'll automatically feed 1 worker every turn until the end of the game. And no one gets any tools this time. Shame that. Tools are about the only thing separating humans from the rest of the animals. Well, there's also art, language, board games. What kind of tools do you make there anyway? A pointy rock on a stick or... Irrelevant. What does matter is that tools allow you to increase the total value of a dice roll. Tools literally make every job easier. Alright, it's time to do all your actions and pass the bar to Maya. All your actions, but in phase 1, we did our moves 1 by 1. And in this one, the players do all their moves at the same turn, and then the other player does all its actions. Rules are rules, don't shoot the messenger. Fine, I'll wait. You've only your forest action anyway. Alright, let's gather wood. There are 2 ways from go about this. Either select the location or press the button on the label. Maya, help me out here. What do we do now? First of all, there will always be a hint as to what options you have shown here under the phase banner. Roll dice to get resources. Alright, since you want to gather wood, let's roll some dice. Wait, before you do, one more thing. The exclamation mark shows that this action can't be undone. Roll dice, my friend. Not bad. It's actually a great roll. 15 pips total divided by the cost of wood means you get 5 units of wood. Let's not forget the 2 magic words, confirm button. Now it's my turn. Let's do my actions. I got some gold. Eat, 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 eat. Do you want anything specific? Chicken with fries? I was promised tacos. What else? Nectar and ambrosia for me, obviously. You're not getting any of that, but you're also right. It's time for phase 3, feeding workers. Today on the menu, a generic food symbol. Bon appetit. You've more than enough food to feed your workers, but what if you didn't? Well, that would be a different panel at the bottom of the screen. Let me show you. Let's switch places for a moment so I can show the 2 of you what my situation looks like. It's not as straightforward as yours. Look at my situation. I have 2 units of food and 1 level of food production. First I get 1 food from my production, then I feed my 2 workers the 2 units of food I have. But that leaves 2 hungry workers there. What happens to them? Well, I need to find another way to feed them. If I don't have enough food, and only then, I can do one of 2 things. The first one is to exchange 1 resource for 1 food. In this case, I'll use my gold. The second route is to exchange 10 victory points for any amount of food I'm missing. Be it 1 or 10, it'll always cost me 10 victory points. But now you've seen it, let's get back to your perspective. Back to our happy and well-fed workers. Let's use the confirm button. And that's the end of the first round. The next one will be similar, but now Maya will be first player. Let's skip forward a few steps to get to the next part we need to explain. Adam, there's something new in the top right corner. So it is. It's the cards panel. It contains civilization cards. The cards panel is connected to a new location, the harbour. Harbour is different to other locations. You can send a worker there multiple times in the same round. In harbour, we exchange goods for 1 card. Cards give us immediate benefits, but also significantly affect the scoring. Hello there. We're playing Stone Age, and my Stone Age guy's got some sort of ridiculous Cockney, Guy Ritchie, East End sort of voice. Don't know why, just sort of sounds gruff and vaguely manly. Would you like to hide this place from me before? We're just taking baby steps on our journey to learn the rules. Civilization cards are especially important at the end of the game when they give you victory points. So I can't win without them? You probably can, but it won't be easy, that's for sure. Consider it a challenge. We'll talk about scoring later. Anyway, Arbor has 4 rings, each matching a card slot. Sending a worker to Arbor slot books a card which can then be bought into the second phase, assuming you can afford it. First way to book a card is to click on the cards panel. First of all, each card has its cost. 1 pentagon/dot in the top panel means cost of 1 of any resource. Cards have a lot of icons. What's up with that? Right, the top icon's the immediate benefit you get when you purchase a card. It can be a resource like clay, but also stone, gold, any good, or food. It's possible to receive more than 1 resource by rolling dice if the card indicates it. If you're lucky with the dice, that is. Lucky in dice, unlucky in love, or so I've heard. That's nonsense. Anyway, look at this card. I like it. It's awesome. Maya, please. First is the number of the dice to roll. It's always 2, no matter the gold. Good. Then there's the cost of the resource. 1 gold costs 6 pips. I should probably mention the chance to roll 12 on 2 dice if you want 2 gold at less than 3%. That's almost impossible. How about 2 wood? How likely is that? That's more likely. To get at least 2 wood, you need to roll 6 or more. The chance of that happening is 72%. Cool. What are the other cards? Some will grant you victory points. You can also see there are cards providing a permanent bonus, additional tool, or a bonus production level. Some others will give you a chance of a one-time tool that you can use whenever you want later in the game. Oh, and what's that? I see there's a single card in the tie deck that grants a random card. The random card will only grant you the end game story, the bottom symbol, and not the immediate benefit, the top symbol. And the last time, the surprise benefit. How exciting. If you buy a card with a questioning mark, you roll as many dice as there are players in the game. Each player, starting with the player who rolls, selects one of the roll's results and gains the corresponding benefit. Wood, clay, stone, gold, tools, or, harvesty stuff. Alright, I understand the immediate benefits. What about the symbols at the bottom of the card? For that, we need to distinguish between the cards with sand background and grass background. The grass background cards let you collect different culture symbols. At the end of the game, we multiply the number of different culture symbols by itself and receive that many victory points as a result. What if I get more than one of the same symbol? Then we count the doubled symbols and multiply those and add the result to our victory points. Let's imagine I finish this game with those symbols. In this case, I'll get 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 2 is 3, 3 times 3 is 9, 4 times 4 is 16, 5 times 5 is 25, 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 2 is 4, 3 times 3 is 9. Oh. In that case, I get 34 victory points. Now for those sand background cards, there are 4 subtypes of those. The first subtype, little man with little leafy things sticking out of him. At the end of the game, you multiply the number of workers by the number of multipliers on your card with this symbol. For example, if you had 8 workers and this set of cards give you 40 points, 5 times 8 victory points is 40 victory points. Oh man, this is sure a lot of math to remember. Don't worry, Maya, you can always select the question mark symbol to give you a full description of the card. Let's book a card that we want to buy and face to, shall we? I think the card with a green background is a good choice for now. A culture symbol and a surprise benefit. Nothing wrong with that. This is a very long tutorial. Yeah, it's pretty long, I'm not going to lie, but we're nearly at the end of it. And confirm turn. Cards panel will show an icon of the worker occupying the slot there. It's the same worker that sits in the harbour. Nothing more to do. Let's end our turn with the confirm button. It's your turn. We'll skip a few steps again just to get to the new stuff, just like we did in the previous phase. I will say, if you didn't notice, we started at past, so it's not like I've been doing this since 1 o'clock. It's finally time to buy our card. Select the harbour, please. Thank you. Thank you, my poor, sorrowful voice. Here you can confirm you want to buy the card. A panel pops at the bottom of the screen and allows you to buy the card. There are slots for goods as many as the cost of the card indicates. In this case, 2. All we have is wood, so we'll play by choosing the wood twice. But remember, you don't have to buy it if you don't want to or if you can't afford it. All you've done so far is reserve the right to buy that card this turn. Sure, but no way we're skipping this one. Besides, you should be glad, Maya, you'll benefit from the question marky card as well. I'm not complaining, I'm just making sure you're remembering your options. Alright, I'll pay for the card with 2 units of wood, choosing wood twice. And confirm. Yay, a surprise for everyone. It's time to roll the dice. Remember, this action will be impossible to undo. Nice. I wonder what's better for us, a tool or a single gold? Must be a tool. Let's get it. Oh yeah, and even more gold for me. You already have 1 tool. Maybe you'd like to use it to change the 5 into a 6 and get a level of food production instead for the second tool. This card action is a special case. You can't use tools to manipulate the results of this roll. What we get is what we have. We must stick with it. Rules are rules. Indeed. Confirm, please. Looks like we place 1 worker in the building row in phase 1. Let's see how that works. Purchasing a building effectively means exchanging goods for victory points. The number of building spots equals the number of players in the game. Select a building. Where are the buildings? Where are the buildings? Where are the buildings? Are they up here? No. No. I've lost my buildings. Where are they? Seriously, where am I going to be clicking? Buildings, 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 buildings. Do I just select that there? Oh, there we go. At the beginning of the game, there are 7 buildings in this location. You can purchase only the top one. Each building has a different cost and a benefit. They're in a random order. When you buy a building, a new one will appear in its place and will be available for building in the next turn. So if I choose a building, I can see what it'll cost. Actually, no, nothing like that. Did you notice there were different types of buildings in the preview animation a moment ago? I did notice only 2 had something to do with gold. What's it with you and gold? Anyway, there are 3 types of building and they'll influence how many exchange spots appear in the panel at the bottom. First one's very simple. We'll trade the resources for the VP, like here. 2 stone and a gold for 16 VPs. With the second and third types of building, a number of VPs depend on the cost of the exchange resources. The second type of building allows you to exchange the exact number of resources, 4 or 5, of specific types as indicated in the bracket. The number of points scored depend on the total cost of the exchange resources as equal to the total. It's all very complicated. Let's play it out. Imagine you want to pay for this building and you've got these resources. Well, how would you do that, Maya? In that case, I have to pay a total of 4 goods of 2 different types. So I go for 1 gold, 3 stones, the 2 most expensive resources I have, which will give you 21 points total. 1 gold is 6, 1 stone is 5, you get 21 victory points. One more example? Sure, this is fun. Okay, what if you want to pay for this building with these resources? What would you do, Maya? Probably just 4 gold. It costs the most. But you see, you can't. The symbol in the bracket says you've got to use exact 3 different types of goods. Oh, I see. So I have to use exact 3 different kinds. In that case, I go for 2 gold, 1 stone, and 1 clay for the highest number of VPs. Fair enough. That gives you 21 VPs total. It's not that complicated at all. Oh, don't keep me waiting. What's the last type of building, Adam? Last type of building costs 1 to 7 resources of any type at your choice. Going back to our game, we've got to pay 4 resources of 1 kind. Look at the symbols. Luckily, we have even more than 4 wood, so we'll just use that. 4 wood costs 12, so I'll gain 12 victory points for purchasing this building. So it can be a good idea to save up expensive resources for more victory points from buildings. Sure, golden houses give lots of points. But we can also just skip the construction if we decide our goods are needed elsewhere. Sure, in general it's not a good idea to skip your actions unless you don't have the resources you thought you had, or you're just there to block your opponents. Okay, let's pay for this building. Select wood. Firm action. We're approaching the end of the tutorial. Now, as we began at the beginning, let's end at the end. Point scoring and the end of the game. See who won. Player with most VPs wins, as is tradition. If the players are tied in points, the sum of their tools, food, production and workers serves as a tiebreaker. Some points you collect during the game and some at the end. So the point count shows only the ones we're collecting during the game. Now that depends on particular game. You can also count the points from cards, effectively summing up game points for you in live time. You can change that in settings. The current points come mostly from the buildings you built. Remember that some cards give you points immediately. These would also be added to the current points. And if I choose to see points from my card's bottom symbols as well, then we add up all the points as they're calculated at the end of the game. The calculation is quite simple. Sand colour, background cards multiply, culture symbols and resources in your supply. How many points can I get from the culture symbols? That one's tricky. You multiply the number of different symbols by itself. At the end of the game, we multiply the number of different culture symbols by itself, receive that many victory points. Then we've got any double symbols, we multiply the double symbols by themselves too, and we add the 2 together. We've done all this bit, so let's just skip it. And let's not forget the sand background symbols of 4 subtypes. For each card with blah blah blah, you get a different number of victory points, 1, 2 or 3 for each of the workers' tools, level, production, buildings. And when does the game even end to begin with? When I've got more points than you? Nah, just joking, obviously. The end of the game can be triggered in 2 ways. If there are no civilization cards left to fill the card display at the beginning of the round. The game ends immediately. You can always see how many cards are left in the deck in the panel in the top right hand corner. Alternatively, if any building pile is emptied, all 7 buildings are constructed in any of the building slots, the game will end after the feeding phase, so the round is played until the end. You can always check the current scoring by clicking on this button over here. I heard a good score is around 150 beeps and a bad one would be around... don't focus on that. There's a lot of variables depending on the number and the play style of the players, for example. So it looks like we know all the rules now. Nothing left but to master the game. I bet no one will beat me when I'm in the hard AI mode. What? Except me, of course. Let's leave it to the player to decide which one of us is better. Enjoy the game. Okie doke. So is it letting us play at the end of this? So we're feeding our workers. They're feeding their workers. And now into placing workers. And it's my turn. So let's see what I've got. So I have... how much food? I have very little food. So I'm going to have to go hunting. I think I'm going to chuck a guy in the field. Because I like going to the field. Because that gets me food every turn. They're going to the forest. That's good. I'm definitely going to have to do some hunting here. Well, I also want to start getting, stuff in general. I mean, what do we got in the huts? So we've got trading resources and trading 4 things of the same type. I think I mostly need food this turn, honestly. I mean, I could... Let's just bank this turn for getting food, I think. I'm just going to get a load of food, and then next turn I'll just go bananas getting stuff. So I get my guy from the field, that's 1 food every turn. And now let's go hunting. We roll the dice. We got 21. I'm going to bump one of them by 1 to make it a nice round number, make it 22, which gives me 11 food. And that's me. They're getting a load of wood in the forest. No sniggering. They bought a load of stuff at the harbour. Okay. Collecting workers. They're doing their bit. I've got to feed my workers. There we go. Right, I've got enough food for next turn. So next turn I can actually start trying to get some stuff. They couldn't feed, so they had to use victory points. Right, so they've gone to the harbour. Let's see if there's anything interesting in said harbour. What have we got? This is... Oh, they've already grabbed that one. This is... When you get this card, you immediately roll as many dice, blah, blah, blah. You get some resources, and at the end, I get VPs for all its food production level multiplied with... So I like that. That's probably worth trying to get. How much is it going to cost me? Oh, hang on. It's going to cost me... How much is it going to cost me? So that's everything that's in the deck. This is the cost. It's kind of hidden behind that crap. Why can I not see it? That seems like bad from an interface perspective. What if I change my resolution? Shall I try and change my game resolution? Right, let's... I'm still full screen, so let's see how this looks. It might break if I break the stream. Let's have a look. I still can't bloody see it. That's just stupid, isn't it? Right, what if I change the UI scaling? Okay, that's better. That's better. Let's fix all that then. So let's go back to high resolution, because I can. And let's change the UI scaling a bit so it's less ridiculous. There we go. Look at that. We can see symbols. So this is going to cost me 4 resources to get that. So I'm going to need a load of resources in order to do this. Okay, I'm happy with that. Let's do that. So they've gone into the forest. So I'm going to go into the clay mound, I think. Yeah, let's go here. And let's chuck in... Let's chuck in everyone. They're resolving all their stuff. They're doing a load of stuff. It's slightly intimidating just seeing all the cards flying up. Yeah, right, my turn. Let's resolve stuff. So I can do these in theory in any order. I could go to the harbour first and then the clayman. The problem is if I do that, I don't have the resources to turn into... Well, actually, I do. I've got wood. So I could have just used wood. But oh well, I've been to the clayman. Let's just do this. Roll the dice. So that's 19 divided by 4 gives me 5. So if I use one of these tools, that becomes 20 divided by 4 gives me 5. That's good. Let's do that. And then I'm going to go to the harbour, and I'm going to definitely buy the card. Using 4 resources. Well, let's just use wood, because it costs me less. I get that cool bonus. And then let's see what I get at the back end of it. 4 and a 6. I would like this, please. I would like bonus food every turn. And it works very well with this little bonus here. I'm going to have to stop this in a few minutes, alas. Most of this, as I kind of said, was going to be doing the tutorial, which we've done. And I think we will play it properly next time. But let's see how far we can get. We'll maybe see if we can do one more turn. They just decided to just try and starve. Is their AI just terrible? I mean, I'm not going to complete the game here because the game goes on for quite a while. So we'll see. I mean, maybe... I wonder if we can save the game. I think we can. I think if I go back to the main menu, I think I'll be able to save this game and come back to it next time. So we might do that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to send someone to the field because more food is good. They're going to the baby making hut to make more people. And I'm going to, I mean, really I want to try and get cards that I can exchange for victory points, don't I? So let's try and get some, let's go bananas. Let's just go and get us some gold. That's what we're going to try and do this turn. We're going to get really expensive shit. I don't have a huge amount of food. I have enough because I've got 2 food and 4, no. Crap, I'm not going to have enough food this turn. Son of a bitch. Okay. Right, let's do it. Collect your workers. So 15 and it divides by 6. So if I could get up to 17, which is not enough. Okay, 2 gold. There we go. Feeding workers. I can't feed my village. I almost can. I can use resources, can't I? There we go. I don't have to lose victory points. So you're eating wood instead. No giggling. See you there. See you there. Don't giggle about gobbling wood. There we go. The I expected. Right. Placing workers. I think if we can, let's stop there. So let's see what happens if we get... I think I should be able to go back to the main menu. Let's just do a quick check. So if I go to local game... surely there's a way to resume a game. Have I just lost that? That kind of sucks. That's a disappointing, well, everything. So we did... I mean, maybe because it was the tutorial. Oh, yeah, because, yeah, technically that was me finishing the tutorial. Okay. Oh, well. So that was a little taster of Stone Age. It's a chunky old game, I think. It's not the most ridiculous worker placement game ever. But the first time you play it, there's an awful lot of, oh, there's food, and then there's people, and then there's, victory cards and all this kind of stuff. So there's a lot going on. Did I like it? Yeah, I mean, I've played the board game version of it quite a lot. It is on the shelf. You can't quite see it. It's not quite in frame. Let's turn that. Oh, you can't see because of my microphone. There we go. It is there in the background. So I've played it quite a few times, but it's the first time I've played the app version. So far, I think the app version looks pretty good. I think we'll see if next week on one of these streams, if I can play a whole game through. We'll see how that goes. But I like it. I like it. You missed out on the joys at the start of me trying to do the intro in caveman voice. Well, not quite the caveman voice, but caveman speak, which was easier on the vocal cords. So let's try and wrap this up in a similar way to how I started. Thanks for watch. Hope you like. Game was good, if hard. If want to see more of things I do, go to Bird Site and DC Bradshaw RPG. Also is 2 syllables. Damn it! And go to Sky of Blue site at dcbradshaw.com. We play games each Wednesday. Can't do that. Nah, I have to drop out of it. Damn it, it's really hard. It's really hard to try and do everything in 1 syllable. But there we go. No, seriously, if you have enjoyed this, please follow me on Twitter. I'm at DC Bradshaw RPG. I'm on Blue Sky, dcbradshaw.com. I also have Twitch. I have YouTube, where you can watch my short form interview show, Short Thoughts, as well as VODs of all of my madness that I do on here. I also have a Ko-Fi. If you'd like to chuck me some money each month, that's grand. If you want to do that, but absolutely no pressure to do so. So I think if we can, we'll go a raiding. I see Cypher of Tyr is reading. About, but I think she has got a limit on how many people have to be watching before you can raid. So we may not be able to raid Cypher. Let's have a look and see if we can. Yes, looks like we can. All right. Thank you so much for joining me today. Next stream will maybe be a gaming stream over the weekend. We'll see. Otherwise, we'll be back on Monday for our usual nonsense. All right. Take care.